Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from my usual Let's Plays. I just felt like shaking it up a little bit, so as you can tell by the title, we are going to be ranking the characters in the game Deathmark on my personal preference basically. You may have a totally different preference. Please let me know down below in the comments what your preference will be. And yeah, let's start. Right, so I've made a little tier system, just a custom tier system using Tier Maker. The link if you want to also use this template is down below. And so what do we start? The bottom rank is ugh. For the character, there's a specific character who just makes me go ugh. And that is for them. That is for that character that I just like. I don't like their personality. I don't like anything about them. And I can already say there's only one character who's going in that section. The next section is why. Like, you're not like the worst character, but you get on my nerves on some level that you can't just be, you're just not neutral. Which, the neutral, we have meh. I mean, you're meh, you're not bad, you're not good, didn't really have much of an impression, but you'll do. You're fine. And then we get pretty neat. So these are the characters who I think I kind of like you. I like your attitude. I think you're pretty neat. I think you're not Bae Territory. You're not. My heart doesn't flutter when I think about you, but you're good. You're one of the good ones. So top tier. The top tier characters are Bae Territory. I think you can already guess one who might go in that territory, and the other, people are going to think I'm weird, but they capture my heart in a strange way. So let's begin on our territories. So first, for me to put into a tier is the main character. So in my playthrough, I went through the default name, which was what was his name? Mind blank. Kazu Yashiki, that's it. Yashiki. And who we find out is actually a ℏ𝑗𝑒. He's 𝒫𝓁𝑒 ℏ𝑗𝑒. And originally he's just this middle-aged man. He's lost his memories and he's been sent to the mansion to find out what the mark actually is and how he can get rid of it. So I think I would put him in the meh category. I mean, he's a main character. He seems pretty sensible, but he doesn't. There's nothing special about him. Bless him. He's just kind of regular and your regular leader. So yeah, he goes in meh. Next, we have Mary, who is the doll belonging to the head of the ℏ𝑗𝑒 family, originally Saya, and then she's now just the token of the mansion, and she's there to help the mark bearers cure the mark. However, if you have watched the final episode, which I hope you have, because spoilers, there are spoilers in this obviously for character development, so Mary is actually the one who gave us the mark. She is the whole perpetrator of the whole mark system. She's caused so many deaths. She's just one bad doll. I liked her. I did actually like her. I like how she spoke. I like how she messed with everybody, but seemed like she was trying to help. I kind of like that. Kind of into that evil doll aesthetic. So Mary goes in pretty neat because, you know, she is pretty neat. She's kind of a cool character. So next on the list we'll go to our first mark bearer other than the main character who shows up, and that's Moe Watanabe. So she's a high school student who is obsessed with the occult, and she comes looking for information on how to cure her mark basically, and she thinks she got it from the elementary school. So I really don't know with Moe. I kind of like her. Kind of disturbed by the scene where she is hanging from the ceiling naked. Where are her clothes? Why do the spirits keep taking off people's clothes? That's just something that I didn't quite understand. Didn't really understand from this whole thing why they always had to be naked. And high school student, I don't sound right to me. But I didn't hate her. She doesn't. I don't think she deserves why. I think she definitely deserves meh. Because, yeah, I think she definitely deserves to go on the meh system. Oh, I don't know. No, I'm going to stick to it. She is meh. Next, we have Tasaka. What's his last name? Yoshida. So, I didn't like this kid. He was kind of annoying. He's a mature elementary school student who can pick up on spiritual energy, but he was rude, thought he knew better, and just generally annoying. So he goes in the special category of why? Why are you here? What do you bring to this scenario? Which is kind of why I didn't really use him in the playthrough, because he was just kind of annoying. But, you know, I guess he's a good kid. Next, we have Satoru Mishida, our lovely ex-detective, wanting to figure out a bizarre case, and we all know where he deserves to be. He deserves to be in Bae Territory. I know it, you know it, you probably agree. Mishida is definitely Bae. 100%. Next, we have Cutie Arimura. Is that her name? Yeah, Cutie Arimura. Now, she was a ex-reporter, now a freelance reporter, and she was kind of ended her job because of a affair scandal, and we found her in the suicide forest. I struggle with Christy because she quits when the going gets tough. She didn't want to face the spirit ℂ𝕗𝑒. She didn't want to help with anything else. So to me, she is kind of, why? Why are you here? She was pretty though. See, that's where I think I am struggling, because her character's pretty. So I want to put her in meh, but I do think she is going to go in Y. Put her nicely there in Y. Now, we have another one who was kind of one of my favourites. We have Shao Nagashima. And he is a delinquent. He rides his motorcycle all around. We found him near the forest, and he has more information about ℂ𝕗𝑒. However, with all this brash, strong personality, he's a scaredy cat. And that kind of, I'm like, scaredy cat. It's not pretty neat, is it? And it's definitely not Bae. If Bae can't go into the forest and defeat spirits for me, then he's not for me. So that's why Shao goes in the meh category. So let's pop him up in meh. He's just a bit meh. I kind of liked his attitude and the way he spoke, but no. He is kind of meh, like 100% meh. Next, we have little Suzu Morimiya. I liked Suzu. So she's an elementary school student and she can sense spirituality. And her family history was just really sad. And I can't... But she is kind of meh. She's that kind of mature child who's like, oh, I've got family difficulties, so I've had to mature quickly, and not really a child. But everyone always treats her like a child, and I can relate to that. However, I think she goes in the meh. There wasn't much about her. We did take her back into the forest, and she helped us get some things off that weird tree with ℂ𝕗𝑒. In the third chapter, ℂ𝕗𝑒's chapter, which was helpful, and I think she was quite sweet. I think, do you know, I'm actually going to put her in pretty neat. I think she deserves pretty neat, because just the way she kind of handles herself, I think she's pretty neat. So next we have the otaku himself, the idol-loving guy of Ieta Nakamatsu. Trying to get all their names right. And we didn't really use him much in the playthrough because, I mean, I liked Suzu much better. And he kind of had, Ita was just a little bit weird, like as you would expect from an idol-loving otaku. But yeah, he was just a little bit weird. I didn't really like him that much, especially with the bad ending of that chapter when if you say the wrong thing and or no, if you go to the wrong place and Suzu ends up as an eyeball and you go back and tell him and he starts crying and weeping and like, it's so silly. It's just so silly. So he goes in the why category. Like, why are you there? You didn't really help much, didn't really have skills. I guess he did help with the one of the live or die situations where he says you can't mention anything about eyes. However, in the English translation of it, it's no help because the questions don't even add up. So in that, he's not helpful, so he goes in the why. Now we have one of my favorites, although maybe not quite Bae Territory, but I really do like her, which is Ai Kashiwagi, the idol, the love and hero idol. She's always happy, helped us out with the music in the Miss Zoo episodes. And I just kind of liked her energy, but then I think I might be biased because I like idols. So I think she definitely goes in the pretty neat category. Oh, it's kind of averaged out quite well with we'll have to see if it becomes less even. Although we do have the lovely Mishita at the top. King of the pile. Next, and it probably won't be surprised if you've watched my playthrough, that I do not like Hiru. Madoka Hiru, she's a pharmaceutical company researcher. She has an attitude, she thinks she's better than everyone and her research is better. She's really rude, she comes out with like really rude words and just annoying. Just more than why. We know if you know me well, you'll know that she is my ugh. Like, why? Why are you here? What do you contribute? You're just slightly annoying. And she comes up again in the chapter 6 DLC chapter, which I'm playing through as well, so it will probably be after this on a Monday. I'll start playing the next chapter, the extra chapter, and she comes up in this as well. And again, she's just really annoying. So I'm really not into her character at all. And she's only pretty when she's in precarious situations, like when she was tied up with all the snakes and she doesn't have her glasses or her lab coat and her hair's all dishevelled. Like, when she's like more relaxed, I guess. Well, not relaxed, obviously, she's in a horrible situation, but she's not as uptight, I think, when she's close to death, basically. But so she definitely goes in that bottom tier. Next we have Diamond, Shuji Diamond, who is a doctor, and strangely he seems to be suffering from a sickness that we don't really know why. Did we ever find out why he has a weird sickness? I don't know, but he also has the mark, and he has a lot of knowledge about the Kanan soldier and all the horrible experiments that were going on with the Buddhas. And I kind of like him. Does he go in pretty neat or does he go in meh? He doesn't really contribute much, I guess, but I actually think he goes in meh. I think I'm going to put him in the meh category. I don't have much to say about him. I mean, he was in the last chapter and you didn't get to use him much. We got to use him occasionally, but it wasn't really helpful. And then we had to go back and get Hiru because we needed a female to ring the Suzu bell. So yeah, I think he just kind of ends up in that sort of territory. And now we have the last of the human characters, which is probably my favourite character out of all of them. I love ℏ𝕗𝑒𝓃𝓉. I think I just like his attitude. I like his carefree attitude and how he doesn't really care what's going on. So he's the homeless man that we found inside the shelter. And he has a strong connection to spirituality, so he can see things that others can't. And he's been, living down in the shelter. And they say he smells, and that he just wants food. He'll give you answers if you give him food, which kind of relate to. So Banshee, I know people won't agree with me on this. I know they won't. However, that little smiley face, he has to go in Bae Territory. For me, Banshee is Bae. There's just something about his personality. It's always looks over personality. I mean, not in the same way as Mashita in Bae Territory, but Banshee was my favourite character in this game, definitely. And lastly, I wanted to throw this little one in as well, because it was a character who was quite important in the game, and it saw us through most of the chapters, and that's the Black Rabbit, which we find out, and again, spoiler alert, is the spirit of ℏ𝕗𝑒𝓃, so the main character's sister, who's trying to help the main character learn about the mark and how to defeat it. And I kind of liked when the rabbit popped up, although the noise of it like running around kind of freaked me out. I didn't like that noise. However, the deathly hands of Mary breaking the poor rabbit's neck when it was just trying to help, that was some good story. That was some good story. So I'm gonna put the rabbit up in pretty neat. So pretty neat rabbit. I completely forgot to add ℏ𝕗𝓃 into the list. I can't believe I forgot to do that. So I think it's because I didn't play her with her character at all. I didn't choose her as my partner, but she is one of the mark bearers. She is important to the story, so I'm gonna add her to the list. However, I think it goes saying like I don't. If I forget about her, then I guess she goes into why. She's not terrible. She's not like the worst, but I kind of forgot about her. I feel kind of terrible, but you know. And that's quite interesting because now it completely makes us so even. Everyone has their place. You've got the top tier with Mashita and Banshee. You've got Pretty Neat with Mary, Suzu, Ai, and the Black Rabbit. The meh tier, the neutral tier, you have the main character, Yoshiki. You have Moe, Shao, and Diamond. In the why are they here? I kind of forget about them. Is Tsusaka, Christy, Iita, and Yasuoka. And in the why are you here? Is Hiru. Because of course it's Hiru. So with that, thank you so much for watching. The link to this template will be down in the description. You may have a totally different opinion to what I have, but I'd like to hear it, so leave a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in whatever I'm up to next. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!